Guten Abend, mein Name ist Heidenstein. Was ist los? Du bist am
Hello everyone, it's Hyden in the Philippines. Today I want to talk to you about all the hundreds of pennies I've made doing my YouTube channel. Now, I started my channel 100%, let's just be honest, to supplement my income. I thought if I came to the Philippines and shot some videos, that in no time flat, I would be able to make enough money to where I could, at the very least, pay for my apartment rental. And that has just not happened. It just hasn't happened. I mean, the way YouTube works, you need minimum of 500 subscribers and then 1,000 watch hours to get monetized. Okay, it took me about 8 months to get my 500 subscribers, and then at 16 months I hit my 1,000 watch hours. Now, I just didn't really think it was going to take that long. I figured for sure I'd shoot a few videos and that you people were just going to fall madly in love with me. That my channel was just going to be a hit in no time flat. I was going to get thousands of subscribers, and I was going to be rolling in dough, quickly. It just didn't happen that way. It did not happen that way. Doing this has sort of been humbling. I had watched a few other, just like the rest of you, I'd watched a few other YouTubers, and you watch these channels and you see these guys do their bits on YouTube, and you think to yourself, man, I could do better than that. And you're looking at this guy's subscriber count, he's got 20,000, 30,000, and you're like, man, he's okay, but I'm sure I could do a far better job than that. I've got a big personality myself. If you ever meet me in person and we're out and about, or you see me out in public, man, I'm having a good time, no matter what I'm doing. Like I said, I have a big personality, and I'm a joker. I like to have fun. I like to joke around and have a good time. Wherever I'm at, whatever I'm doing, and you're here in the Philippines, and you already stand out in the crowd because you're a foreigner. So using that template, I already know I stand out, so I use it, and I have fun wherever we go. If we're at the grocery store, I'm gonna make people laugh. Wherever we're at, I can't tell you how many times that thing they call photo bombed, where people are doing this, I'll jump in there and try and get into the picture with them. And here in the Philippines, most people will take a picture with you. I'm just out here having a good time. And like I said, I was sure that I would be able to do a far better job than some of the YouTubers I was watching, because you'd see the title of the video, and then it might be all the way to the very end before you actually got to a couple little nuggets that you tuned in to in the first place. Now, let me just say, like I said, this has been a humbling experience for me, because just doing a little research at any time during the day, there's 83 million people watching YouTube. 83 million. Now, my best video to date, my very best video, has did a little more than 14,000 views. Okay, 14,000 views out of 83 million. When I did the percentage on that, there was a bunch of zeros before the number started showing up. So, I mean, by that metric, I mean, you could find me if you used an electron microscope, or the will of God, or somebody pointed you in my direction. But that's just not that many views. Now, I'm sitting at I have 1,636 subscribers. That's a far less cry than the 20,000 that I thought I was going to get, rather rapidly. it just didn't happen for me. I've had to work at it. Now, one of the things you're going to find out, and we'll get down to the meat and potatoes of it, if you're doing YouTube, the way the money breaks down, okay, to date, I've made $22.50 from super thanks. That's people that watch your channel and they'll give you a little donation. They'll kick you some money because they enjoyed your video. They shoot you some money. Now from views, from the views I've gotten, I've made $1.14. $1.14, which is nothing. That's for 1,000 views. Now how it works is every 1,000 views you get anywhere from $1. I made $1.14 to $1.20, and it goes up a little higher, but I think the most is like $1.40 for 1,000 views. But that depends on how many views that and the 1,000 views plus the advertisers. Now I know just from myself, when I'm watching a video, as soon as I see the skip button on the advertisement, I hit it. Because I'm trying to watch the video, man. I'm not trying to watch the advertisement. I just don't do it, and I'm sure you guys do the same thing. If you're watching one of my videos, as soon as the advertisement kicks up, as soon as you can, you hit the skip button because you're trying to watch the video. You're not trying to get sold anything. Okay, so like I said, that's $1.14. So what are we at? $23.64. That's just not, that's not the money I thought I was going to get. Now, one of the other things I want to bring up is what people will put on their channel and put out there, such intimate details of their life for such a minuscule amount of money. I've seen some people sling mud and dirt about their relationship and other people. I mean, stuff that I wouldn't even tell a priest. They're putting it out there for everyone to judge and comment on. I just, I don't live that kind of life. I don't have that many hidden secrets. But man, and a lot of times you'll see some of the worst, muddiest, ugliest videos, and they got like only 2,000, 3,000 views. So you made $3, $4 telling your most intimate secrets about your family and friends for such a small amount of money. I mean, where's your integrity, really? I mean, I just can't do it. Now, one of the other ways people make money doing this YouTube thing is if you look underneath the title of the video, it'll say more, and you hit more, and there'll be links like buy me a coffee, buy me a pizza, PayPal information, Cash App information. Okay, there's a term for that, and I think it's as accurate. It's kind of accurate. It's called e-begging. Okay, you're sticking your hand out and you're asking these people, these hard-working people, hey man, give me some money. You're sticking your hand out and you're asking for money. Now, I'm not telling you how to run your channel. I'm not. I'm just telling you how I run my channel. You don't see that in my description on any of my videos. I have never once asked a soul for any money, and I'm not doing it today. I've gotten 2 super thanks, and it added up to $22.50, and I was surprised by it. It's one of the things when you get monetized, it's almost one of the things that they make you do as part of the monetization, because for every dollar that you get, YouTube gets 30 cents. So it's another way basically for them to make money. It's like baked into the YouTube monetization thing. But like I said, I'm not. I thank you for the super thanks. I'm not trying to say that I'm not appreciative, but surprised more than anything. But like I said, I thought for sure I'd be making tons of money off these views, and I have just not, man. I am 100% just a little fish, a very little fish. More, I don't know what's before a tadpole in a big pond, and I'm just not making that, that kind of cheese. And to tell you the honest truth, it's been sort of liberating, because I was really pushing myself and kicking myself to get that money. Like, I wanted to get monetized in the worst way so I can make that extra money. And now that I see how much money I'm actually going to make, it has changed my perspective on the whole YouTube thing. I'm doing this now more as a hobby. You know, it's something that I do just to be informative, and that's what I was doing in the first place, is trying to inform my fellow man that's coming to the Philippines on what he's getting into when he gets here. And I'm just going to continue to do that. And I'm going to have fun. You know, I still like, every once in a while, I like to get dressed up in my little costumes and do little bits. But this is 100% going to be about having fun. It's not, I'm not going to be beating myself up trying to do 2-3 videos a week just so I can get a few bucks. I mean, I admire the guys that are making really good money at it. They worked at it and they earned it. You know, to get 50,000 views, 100,000 views. I mean, now you're making good money. I mean, kind of good money. Some of these guys are just killing it, you know, because they earned it. They worked for it. They got the subscribers. And I just haven't. And I'm not going to beat myself up about it. Now, one of the things I want to say is, when and if I ever make a substantial amount of money, and what substantial is like a couple $100, I made a promise to myself and to God that I was going to take the very first amount of money that I got and I was going to donate it. And that's 100% my plan, and I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do it. I'm getting married. I have a wife named Gladys, and she's got a large family. Not her personally, that's a very small family. But she does have aunts, uncles, cousins, you know, uncles, aunts, and they all live real close to us. You know, right next door to us, there's quite a few families, and all in all, in total, there's 15 families. Okay, 15 families. And my plan, my 100% my plan and my promise has been to myself, and I've told Gladys about it, is that my plan is to buy each one of the families a 25 bag kilo of rice. Okay, that's like 50 plus pounds of rice. That's a really big bag of rice. Now, that may not seem like a lot, but in the Philippines, rice is life. And a big bag of rice, normally you buy a bag of rice at the beginning of the month when you get paid. You know, these guys they might make $200, $300 a month. That's a blue collar salary is $200 to $300 a month. And right off the top, a big bag of rice is bought to feed the family. Okay, my plan is to take my first bit of money and give that to the 15 families. It's going to be a one-off. And when I'm able to do it, I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to have 15 bags of rice at the top of the hill, and that's all I'm going to film is the bags of rice. I'm not going to embarrass anybody by having the family come up and kiss my ass saying, oh, thank you, Chris, for this bag of rice. I'm just going to buy it. I'm going to film it and show you guys the 15 bags of rice. And then the family members can come up and get it. Because, I mean, it would be delivered at the top of the hill, and then it's at the bottom of the hill where they live. And I'm too old to be humping 50-pound bags of rice down the hill. So they got them young fellas that live there. They can come get that rice. And that's my plan, is until I'm going to give up all my money till I get to that number. Okay, now after I've hit that number, if I'm able, I'm going to take the money that I get and I'm going to take the missus and I out for a dinner. You know, and at the rate of the money I'm making, I'm not making anything, man. I'm really not making that much money. Like I said, I'm at $22.50 plus the $1.14. What's that? $23.64. You know, so far I've got one bag of rice I can get. So I'm a little short. But over the top of that, me and the wife, when I do get some money, you know, and I've hit my goal, I'm going to take whatever money we get and we're going to go out to dinner. So maybe once a month I'll be able to take the missus and I out for a nice little dinner, which shouldn't cost us more than $20. And then if I have a tough month, when I mean tough is like I don't make any money, like I make let's say I make $10. And at the rate I'm going, you know, we're probably going to be eating a lot of $10 meals, but I'll just go buy us a big fish. Now here you can get a nice tuna, man, a really nice big fat tuna about this big for $10. And that'll feed us for a couple nights. And my wife is a hell of a cook, man. She'll take that fish and the first night she'll deep fry maybe a little bit, and then she'll cut it up and then she'll marinate it for the next night. I'll throw the other part on the grill and we'll have that fresh tuna on the grill. my mouth's watering just thinking about it right now, because that's some good eating right now. But that's how I plan to spend my YouTube money. I don't really suspect I'm ever gonna grow the large audience that I had thought that I was gonna achieve when I first started doing it. Like I said, I thought this was gonna be easy. I was gonna hit. Everybody was gonna fall in love with me. I was gonna be a celebrity. You know, I'm going to tell you right now, one of the things about being on YouTube is you're going to attract some crazy people. It's going to happen. That's one of the downfalls that most people aren't talking. I've had a few crazies come out. Like three, just off the top of my head, that stand out. 3 crazies that have reached out, and I was like, holy shit, man, you're a nutbag. So I can't imagine the guys that have really, really big channels. They just must have quite a few crazies that come out, and that's one of the downfalls about doing a channel. You're going to have some crazy people that are going to say some crazy things to you or ask you some crazy things, and you're just going to be like, holy shit, man. So this is just so far my YouTube experience. So if you're planning on retiring and you're going to make YouTube your part of your income to supplement your Social Security, you might want to rethink that. I'm not saying that you're not going to hit and you're not going to be the most popular guy on the block, but there's hundreds of old white guys out here doing YouTube channels telling you about Filipinas, the do's and don'ts, and the thises and that's. So if you think you're going to hit, maybe you will. I don't know. You know, there's some people out there that are doing great. They came on the scene, and they're getting thousands and thousands of views, and they're doing okay. But you're going to have to work for it. I myself, if we had to go, but how I'm working, I spent $400 on the camera that's filming me right now. It came with the mic. I spent a little more for the editing software that I have. So let's just say I spent about $500 to make this channel happen. I am 100% operating at a deficit. If you were investing in me as a company, you would be saying, sell that stock, you know? So, just be aware that the YouTube money that you think you're going to make, it's not going to come. For some, yes, some people are going to make really good money. I have not achieved that. I personally have not achieved that. Now, I want to say 100%, I am grateful for the 1,636 subscribers that I do have. I'm grateful for all the views that I do get. But I think it's, the numbers are accurate. The people watch what they want to watch. And the people that are watching me want to watch me. And I have to just be okay with that. That I'm not as the superstar that I thought I was going to be. I'm just, hiding in the Philippines. I have a small YouTube channel, and I'm 100% okay with that. And whatever you do with your YouTube channel, don't beat yourself up, and just be okay with where you're at and how many subscribers. If you want to, beat yourself up, self-flagellation, that's on you. But I suggest that you just be grateful for what you receive. Okay. This has been Hiding in the Philippines, and I want you to be as good as you can. Ciao.